Let's see. Was she a captain? Gotta check. Already in. I already have something to check. Let's see. Barely 2 words in. That was, fighting down in the docks. Fighting on the docks. Lots of infantry. Against the horde of enemy guerrillas that had stormed the place. They had already destroyed several ships. AM, is that right? Destroyed several ships. How many destroyers? Already destroyed several ships and docks. Killed over 500 men easily. Just thanks to that sabotage of the chemical weapon. As we'll then know, who had poisoned, who had tipped him off about the chemical weapons, but she was going to find them and punish them. Yeah, in case you forgot, it's a she. April's 3 loots had all gone off the battle separately, taking scores of men, and a few dozen men with a piece. Asvel trusted them not to get themselves killed. Asvel went into combat, her trusty basic E1B rifle, loaded up with extra mags and grenades. He took 5 guys with her, and they took up positions in a one-room office building, smashing out the windows, and shooting at the guerrillas downrange. Numbered about the ones that were an immediate threat to her numbered about 20, and there were about 200 or more guerrillas in total. There were thousands of troops in the city to deal with this problem. There were other issues. There were other problems, such as some other guerrillas, both current and theoretical. Well, the situation at the prison had gone strange. A superhuman woman was there, causing trouble. Then some reptilian creature appeared. Humanoid appeared. Some big red horror. Some red horror. Some red-scaled horror. Believed to be with a tail and big glowing eyes. It was believed to be the red dragon that had shown up in Europe after World War III's end. That mysterious creature was quite mysterious. Nobody took credit. This should be a new paragraph, probably. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you have the writing so big like this, you know? The writing, I think this writing looks best when it's tiny, like it would be in a book. Like 64% zoom in, 65, maybe, I'm not sure, that might hurt the eyes a little bit, maybe 64, 65. Small text I like better than big text, though this kind of looks good. It makes me feel like I'm doing more writing than I am. It feels like I do 10 pages here. In actuality, it is Probably usually only 5. It takes about an hour to write 5 pages of novel, so you know. But that's not so bad. It means in a day, if you wrote for a day straight, that would be over 120 pages, right? I'm not good at math, so I might be wrong. I'm embarrassingly bad at math. I've forgotten pretty much everything I learned about math in high school. Except maybe FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. What's the point of algebra anyway? How many people are going to need algebra for anything? Just people who get into the STEM fields, I guess. And, yeah, I don't think I'm likely to get into STEM at this point. It's quite mysterious. Nobody took credit for the creature's existence. Some blame the Jade. But that blame was misplaced. The Jade Empire had unleashed. Tyropyre is the name for Empire in this universe, so I'll add that in later. Not sure where I got the title Tyropyre. But I also had to change the word Imperial, naturally. I'd like to come up with alternate names for more stuff. Like, instead of rifle, I say musketon, or muzzler, or something like that. Or instead of an elevator, it calls it lift machine. Or instead of a scientist, you call them experimenters. Yeah, I think I will add that last one in. And muzzlers. If I can figure out how to pronounce the word I just made up. I should get rid of pistolier. Kind of an outdated term. Let's see. Jade Empire unleashed plenty of horrors on the world. But the Red Beast was not one of them. It was probably just Asvol Mech couldn't figure out. God, she could solve the mystery. There were plenty of times in history, times in history where mankind suddenly faced some mysterious threat that caused a lot of death and suffering, like the undead plague, or those undead wizards in the Middle East, Middle Lands, then vanished, and were defeated or vanished, or just vanished. Asvol imagined the appearance of this beast. The beast was one of those mysterious disasters. That like some very bad germ that killed millions of people, it would eventually pass from the world. And to the survivors, it would seem like some bad dream. Bad dream, yeah. Well, how did the Spanish flu just die out? I mean, and nobody suggests that if you ignored the disease today, it would just die out. You know what I mean? Apparently, these diseases, they got so lethal that they just killed everybody who could get them, and then the survivors had immunity to it. I guess I don't know if that's the case with the Spanish flu, but I thought that was the case with the big plagues from the Middle Ages that killed so many people. Let's see. Go to the men's room. That note's been there for too long. So the Red Dragon was in Liverpool, in the streets by the prison, fighting off infantry and tanks like it was no big to do. So that was eating up forces that Asvol could have used. 1,000, how many? 1,000 troops? 1,000. Asbel wasn't sure what they were going to do about said beast. It wasn't her problem, as long as it stayed away from the docks. And Asbel, imagined that with her luck, the creature would show up, cause chaos. Asbel supposed golems were the best bet for killing that monster. She could have, Asbel had requested golem support from her superior, General Ligal Rin, the commander of the Jade Garrison at Liverpool, the man in charge of all security forces for the city. We're not going to be with Asbel for much longer. I do like switching to the bad guy's point of view now and again. When I read some other story, usually when the bad guy's point of view comes up, that's when I wake up a little bit, because you know something's going to happen. So besides the ongoing revolt, there was the problem of more revolts in the city. Maybe independent, equalindus, and triangulus groups. Are these guys triangulus? I suppose they're fascist by some measurement. It's kind of a gray area. Like, I don't think the Japanese in World War II were technically fascist, but they were very aligned with the Germans still. They were aligned with the Germans, so, you know, they had similar ideologies. Let's see. Let me see, some maybe independent equalindus and triangulus groups would rise up, cause trouble. Usually only when the Jade army was distracted by some big problem, the little groups step up and step out of the shadows and make an impact. It was like the Jade Garrison was some big boxer locked in a fight with another big boxer, and then some little shrimp came into the ring behind the Jade boxer and started sticking a knife in his back, legs, or something. Good analogy, Asbel. You should have been a writer. One of Asbel's men had a radio unit that kept her in constant contact with Ligal, with General Rin. He was apparently still at the prison. The revolt there had ended. Besides, since from this superhuman clad in a red mask, she was a woman, dressed all in black, with the ability to shoot purple energy? Red energy? Red energy. I think that's right. Might have been white energy. No reason she couldn't shoot both. I mean, maybe if it's a comic book, they have a distinctive color always associated with them, right? Like, I don't know. Like if a character is known as Blue Wave, they shoot blue waves of energy. They never shoot red energy or green energy or something. A lot of my superhumans just have like a vague fire a bolt of energy at somebody kind of power, which I guess is, I guess would be like a superhuman standard power. I guess in this universe it'd be like the, I don't know, someone be able to wink both eyes or cross their eyes, or something that's not everybody can do, but it's still not that impressive. I don't know. Really shoot red energy. People were looking up, trying to find out who she was. As will doubt the search would take long. How many superhumans in red masks could there be out there? Aswell didn't like that her general commander was so close to both the red dragon and this superhuman woman, whoever she was. Sir, that doesn't need a new paragraph word, thank you. Sir, you should get out of there. Aswell suggested. Move your HQ. Move your HQ to the hotel, his residence, or the command bunker. I appreciate the concern, Wagner replied. Sounds like the name of a Star Wars villain. I wonder if this is what it feels like to write a Star Wars novel. A bunch of people with weird names talking about this or that, send in the stormtroopers, whatnot. I don't know if I would like to write inside a fictional shared universe. It'd probably feel like writing fan fiction. Not that there's anything wrong with fan fiction. I wrote a very long fan fiction novel, and it'll probably never see the light of day, sadly. I spent a whole year on that damn thing. I think it came out to 3,000 pages at the end. I couldn't believe it. It had to be insanity on my part. Not temporary insanity, though, because I'm still a bit Looney Tunes here. My God, I'm recorded. But yeah, too much weird technology to keep track of. When you write a story set in World War II, you know what technology to expect. You don't have to explain everything, like lasers, blasters, TIE fighters, whatever you call those giant walker things. Strangely, no tanks, I remember. No regular tanks. I can't believe they made all them Nazi parallels in the show, but no tanks, apparently. Or troop transports. Let's see, Lego ring reported. I can't relocate at the moment. I am safest staying put. Yes, sir. Aswell agreed. Shame I couldn't just hop in some ship like you could and sail away from the trouble like you did. Probably did many times. Weigel jeered. Aswell felt a little insulted then. Just a bit earlier. Suggested sooner, a bit earlier. In the incident. Let's see, other than like her commanders, my superheroes were masked. Whoever goes so close to both the red dragon and this superhuman woman, whoever she was. Whoever she was. Whoever she was. I'm sorry, that just felt weird, like past tense, like she was dead, like. There's a famous story about Al Capone where he was in line at Alcatraz after being convicted of tax fraud, and some guy cut in front of him in line. He says, "You know who I am?" And then the guy turned around and pulled a knife on him and said something like, I don't care who you are. If you keep causing trouble for me, it's going to be who you were. I probably mangled that story, but as you can see from me writing, I'm not very good at telling stories. A little insulted then. I never ran from a fight in my life, Aswell muttered. Noted. With me and my men cast off in our ship. Cast off. Is that right? Cast off? Cast with an E at the end? I'm watching a new anime about space pirates. Well, it's not new. It's from 1998, which is 20 years ago now? Jesus Christ. How did 20 years pass? 21 years. Jesus. Is that right? I was only 10 years old in 1998? No, I was older than that. I thought I was 12. Probably too young to play Resident Evil 2 anyway. Let's see. That's not in our ship. It was always when we decided to go. Nobody ever drove us off with our tails between our legs. That wasn't entirely true, but it was mostly true, and that was more than most pirates, former pirates were capable of saying, but it was mostly true. Aswell considered herself unusually honest for a pirate. She died she ever met. Pirate, whoever knew the meaning of the word truth. Let's see, consider yourself. She doubted she ever met a pirate who even knew. She doubted she ever met a pirate who ever knew the meaning of the word truth. No pirate she ever met off her ship ever knew the meaning of the word truth. Ever met off her no pirate she ever met off her ship knew the meaning of the word truth. Is that right? You ever need? Do I need to put ever need? Okay then. Lego said, "My pirate lady, you are my pirate captain. You are free to use any weapons necessary to put down that revolt in a timely manner, including the golems." Yes, sir. Why? And please use one. Use one yourself if you see fit. Lego replied, added, "I know you are a skilled pilot. A skilled amateur. Outlaw Star was the name of that anime. 1998. I'm having trouble finding... Where the hell do you find the old classic anime? That Crunchyroll doesn't have anything made before 1990... No, I don't think anything from the 1990s besides very classic anime, like The Essentials, like, what was that one called? Oh yeah, Akira. Can't think of any other ones on the top of my head. I think that Graveyard of the Fireflies, that really depressingly sad anime, came out around that time and is on there. Aswell corrected humbly. I'll use the golems. I've called up the golems and the copters and the reserves. We'll put this down quickly. Good. Weigel smile. I don't want I won't sacrifice lives unnecessarily for the sake of my pride, as some commanders would who might leave out the big guns and insist that the garrison troops do the lion's share of the fighting. As Volbrand, who would leave out the big guns and insist his garrison troops. Aswell knew of plenty of old-fashioned officers who still didn't trust new the modern weaponry, and believed that everything came down to the infantrymen, even in the area suppressing an uprising, which was the time when one should bring out the armored toys, due to the great difference in the resources. The guerrillas rarely had armor and vehicles to match what the Jade garrisons had. Occupation forces had. The rare exception was what happened in Brest last year. Find out more about that, see issue 241. Okay, folks, have a nice day. See you later.